The hype for SEI is insane. This thing is just going parabolic. But is this hype justified? Is the tech behind SEI actually good? And does this actually have a chance of dethroning major kings such as Solana in the very fast layer 1 blockchain narrative? I'll be telling you everything you need to know about the SEI blockchain so you can go off and form your own opinions on this. This video is not financial advice. Read disclaimers on the screen. SEI is a general purpose open source layer 1 blockchain specialized for the exchange of digital assets, and it leverages novel consensus and technical breakthroughs, making SEI the fastest blockchain in the industry. Now, a common misconception is that SEI is a DeFi chain. However, the exchange of digital assets is universal across gaming, social, and NFTs. Trading is general purpose, making this chain not just a DeFi chain, but a chain for everything. So straight off the bat, this is telling us it is competing with the likes of Ethereum, it is competing with the likes of Solana. Now, before actually making SEI, the team behind SEI found something very interesting about the blockchain industry. So a lot of people claim blockchain can do a bunch of different things, but if you break it down, most users are simply just trading assets. You can see right here, the most successful Web3 apps are number 1, indirect trading apps. Most MetaMask users ultimately use Uniswap or OpenSea, or number 2, direct trading apps, disguised as a game or NFT marketplace like Axie or Magic Eden. Fundamentally, people are just trading assets. And not only that, there are major tailwinds driving the growth of on-chain trading and exchange of digital assets. As regulation increases on centralized exchanges such as Binance, you can already see CZ potentially going to jail. More activity seems to be flowing on-chain. And as crypto adoption increases, more assets are tokenized and the need to exchange these assets increases exponentially. But the current layer 1s just aren't built to be very good dexes, and that is where SEI comes in. A layer 1 specifically designed to basically be the NASDAQ of the entire crypto space. Yes, it is a general purpose layer 1, but they fully optimized it for trading. I still don't think many of you understand. Bybit, the world's best crypto exchange, is trying to give you 30,000 US dollars for free. And to claim it, all you have to do is sign up to Bybit using the link below. It will take you to this page right here where you can make an account and also take a look at the bonuses right here. And not only that, if you sign up to Bybit using the link in the description down below, you'll get access to my full bull market strategy. This goes into full detail how I plan on playing the next few years in crypto. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty details of the tech behind SEI, and shout out to Jesse Park, because no one out there has written a better article than this one, and believe me, I've read basically all of them. So this is going to get quite complex, and most people don't tend to cover this, but I think is incredibly important to understand the actual tech and innovation behind SEI. So how do you get an incredibly good user experience on SEI comparable to a centralized exchange like Binance? Well, you can break it down into 3 parts. First up is price, number 2 is quantity, and number 3 is execution time. First up, on blockchains like Ethereum, there exists a bunch of different applications. You have Uniswap, you have SushiSwap, and you have a bunch of different layer 2s, etc. And all of these basically fragment liquidity. Money has to be split between all of them, meaning that it's much harder for people to trade with good prices, especially if they're trading with a lot of volume. SEI fixes all of this by implementing a native order matching engine. Quite literally, this means that all dApps built on top of SEI can uniformly utilize the liquidity pool concentrated in one place. Have you ever bought or sold a shitcoin and you caused the price to go up or down a pretty significant percentage, causing you to get a bad deal buying or selling it? It's pretty annoying, but us normal people don't really have to deal with it. But whales need to deal with that all the time. If we head over to Uniswap right now, you can see something called a plus 2% depth and a minus 2% depth. This is just how much money either needs to be bought or sold in this trading pair to shift the price. So right now, if you're a whale and you have 10 million US dollars, if you just buy USDC using Ethereum on Uniswap, you actually cause the price of it to skyrocket up, meaning you are getting a bad deal. And all of this revolves around how much liquidity it has. The more liquidity you have in a trading pair, the less your price will move. And yeah, with Ethereum splitting all of its liquidity between a bunch of different applications and layer 2s, it is technically technically not really that efficient. So say all of these pools are in one place, meaning the pricing should be much better. Number 2 is having a native oracle. Every blockchain needs an oracle. On Ethereum, it's a completely separate application called Chainlink, and they provide all these dexes with the prices of assets, etc., so that they can essentially just work. But in SEI, they provide their own native oracle at the network level. So validators on SEI are forced to also be oracles, and this comes with a bunch of security benefits because you now no longer need to rely on a third-party protocol like Chainlink, which has its own security guarantees. You can rely on the security of the underlying SEI blockchain here. SEI also solved the front-running issue in dexes. Currently on Uniswap on Ethereum, if you do send a massive buy order, there'll normally be a bot that is scouting out for these major buy orders, and if they notice a big one, they'll send in a transaction just before yours to boost up the price, so you end up paying more and they can have a profit. And this is obviously bad for a bunch of reasons, but SEI fixes potentially one of the biggest issues in Ethereum DeFi by using something called a frequent batch auction, also known as a FBA, and this aggregates all market orders at the end of a block and executes them at the same uniform clearing price, meaning you can't do any of that. So we've covered how SEI achieves the best prices in crypto for their dexes. We now move on to quantity or scalability and also execution time. So starting off with how exactly they made their execution time incredibly fast. They use something called a twin turbo consensus. Now fundamentally, SEI is built on top of the Cosmos blockchain framework, so they're kind of in the Cosmos ecosystem, but they completely changed the consensus and they made it much faster basically. Twin turbo consensus combines intelligent block propagation and optimistic block processing. First up, intelligent block propagation. So when a block proposer propagates a block to other validators in a normal Cosmos blockchain, they send the entire transaction information within the block, and this basically involves a bunch of redundant work and is inefficient, and SEI found a way to basically achieve the same thing but not have to send the entire transaction information. So this reduces the amount of work block producers need to do, making it much faster, and working in tandem with intelligent block propagation is optimistic block processing. And long story short, they just found a more efficient way to have all the validators vote on certain blocks. Therefore, this allows the whole process to be sped up. So we've covered price and we've covered execution time, and the last bit is scalability. In SEI, they found a way to introduce parallel processing of transactions, meaning that on a normal blockchain like Ethereum that has to process transactions one after the other, which can be quite slow, SEI can process multiple transactions simultaneously. So a good analogy is to imagine Ethereum just being a one-lane road with cars only being able to go, one after the other, and SEI being a massive highway with multiple lanes. And right here, you can see the final results of those innovations. We have 380 millisecond transaction finality. Basically, your transactions are lightning fast and happen instantly. And it can also handle up to 20,000 orders per second on their dexes. Lastly, how decentralized is this chain? Well, SEI uses the normal Cosmos framework. It is delegated proof of stake, meaning that when you get your SEI tokens, you can delegate them to a validator. However, SEI limits the amount of mainnet validators to just 50. So you were trusting basically these 50 guys to make sure that your chain is running fine, which is way less than Ethereum. Ethereum has thousands upon thousands of nodes. Now, as for how easy it is to build applications on top of SEI, it currently only supports the Cosmwasm, which is just a general Cosmos virtual machine. However, it plans to support the EVM in its V2 upgrade coming in the first half of 2024. And this will allow for Ethereum developers to easily enter the SEI ecosystem, port over all their dApps, and just code using Solidity. As for the backers of SEI, it is backed by a bunch of mega names. We have Multicoin Capital, one of the most well-known crypto VC firms. We have Coinbase, Jump Trading, Delphi Digital, and GSR. I don't really know about these other guys. On top of that, BitGet also announced they'll be investing into SEI Labs along with Foresight Ventures. Recently as well, Circle, who is behind the stablecoin USDC, also invested. The team behind SEI is made up of former employees from Goldman Sachs, Databricks, Robinhood, Google, and Nvidia. As for the tokenomics, this is what they look like. Ecosystem reserve 48%, the foundation gets 9%, team gets 20%, the launch pool gets 3%, and the private sale investors get 20%. Current circulating supply is only 2.4 billion out of 10 billion total tokens. And this is what the token unlock schedule looks like. You can pause the video to take a look at this. So full summary of SEI, they took the normal Cosmos blockchain blockchain and changed it to make it much more faster and much more scalable. And they also basically made it one big DEX. And they added a bunch of features on that DEX to make it very user friendly, such as no front running. And they did that because at the heart of all this crypto movement, they believe it is just people trading assets. So if you can really nail that, then you can nail the entire crypto movement. Let me know what you think about SEI. I don't think anyone else has covered SEI in as much detail as I have, so you basically don't need to watch anyone else talk about this project. I've given you everything you can need and more on this project. So let me know whether or not you think this deserves a $7.8 billion US fully diluted valuation, and if you think it will continue going up in price. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. This video is not financial advice. Read disclaimers on the screen.